Hey guys, my name is Sara Coates, and I'm here to talk a little bit about Resident Evil 7 and answer some questions about my character, Marguerite Baker. Okay, here we go. So, this is kind of interesting. I'm an actor here in Los Angeles, and it was just a normal audition call. But the thing was, is we weren't allowed to really know anything about it except for who the characters were. So we didn't know what we were auditioning for. We had to sign non disclosure agreements. It just said you were coming in to portray this crazy family. And as a huge fan of horror movies and sci fi and just that genre in general, I was really excited. I didn't know Capcom was working on it for, I would think, over a year. I knew it was a video game, but they kept it under wraps. Funny story, one day that I wasn't shooting, they told everybody what game it was, and I didn't know. I wasn't there. And then nobody told me. So for weeks and weeks after that, um, everyone knew except me. And then finally at one day when we were filming, people were like, "Yeah, Sarah, it's Resident Evil 7." And I was like, "What? Why didn't anyone tell me?" So silly and wonderful. No, this Resident Evil 7 was actually my first opportunity to work in motion capture. I've done a lot of voiceover work before, but it was really exciting. I mean, we worked a few weeks before filming began with a vocal coach, rehearsing these scenes. Navid, the director, really wanted, and Capcom really wanted this to seem real and scary and exciting. I felt amazing. And I was semi-aware of the fan base of a game like this, but it's exciting to kind of explore more and get to know the fans better because they're so wonderful and loyal. My brother was a huge gamer growing up. I would consider myself very much gamer adjacent. I watched my brother play Contra and regular Nintendo to Nintendo 64 and all that, and I'm not great at playing them, but I love the story and I love watching them. That's why I was so excited. Yeah, that's my answer for that question. Yeah, they were really open. Like I said earlier, we had a vocal coach. They came in. Um, I am not the age of Marguerite, so you know, it was really grounding myself in an older woman's voice. I looked a lot to Kathy Bates from the movie Misery. Working on that southern Louisiana vocal fry was interesting and fun, and kind of just finding that character. And after we did, they kind of just let us go, which was cool. Um, I think Marguerite, before she changes, is just a mother loving her family. And even when they go a little crazy, she's still cooking for her family, so she still has that mom role. Um, I would describe her as a mother lion. And even though later on, her real children, she doesn't really care about, she cares more about her bugs and her babies. She always kind of has that inner um, fierce mother in her. Um, I'm fiercely loyal to my friends, so maybe that would be the only comparison that I think the two of us have. Um, yeah, that's as far as I'm going to go with that question. So, like I said earlier, I loved watching. I remember watching my brother play Resident Evil. Um, I definitely keep up in the horror genre, in that horror world. I'm on a show called Z Nation on the Sci-Fi Network. I love watching horror movies. I will fall asleep to Japanese horror. It's just kind of always been part of my life. I remember sneaking away and watching Creep Show and not telling my mom and like borrowing the VHS from a neighbor and watching it alone and knowing that I would get in trouble if she knew that I was watching it. So it's just always been a part of my life. I would say that my inspirations were definitely Kathy Bates from Misery. I looked a lot into the Texas Chainsaw movies, just any of those horror movies with the crazy families. Kathy Bates was definitely my number one inspiration. Well, Naveed, the director, was amazing. So, we'd read the lines off the page, and then if he would let us just go and kind of improvise a little bit. And I love a good swear, so I had a great time. The screaming, however, was really difficult. They'd have to cut our days up because there was so much yelling. I would lose my voice and I would get these insane headaches. So it was really taking care of myself, drinking a lot of tea and all that kind of stuff. It was the first time I've ever worked on something where I had to yell this much, and it was definitely difficult. Well, I'll always choose myself because I am an actress, and let's just put old age makeup and do some CGI on me and I'll play it. But I love the movies. I think they are extremely fun and they found their niche, and I'll definitely see the next one in the theaters. I always do. I have a really wonderful, this is definitely not like Resident Evil at all, movie that just is going through the film circuit right now, is at South by Southwest. It's called Lane 1974, directed by S.J. Chiro. It is a coming of age story about a 13-year-old girl in the 70s. I also am a recurring guest star on the show Z Nation on the Sci-Fi Network, and I'm shooting a pilot coming up called Corporately Challenged, and hopefully you guys will be able to see that. I'll definitely keep you posted on all of my social media outlets. Um, Twitter is at SL Coates, and Instagram is at Scotesy, SCOATESY. And, I love chatting online, so please chat with me and ask me questions, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. So, anyway, thanks so much, and I can't wait for the next Resident Evil.